Hello and welcome to the Cultured Bumpkin. Hope you're doing well. Tonight we're going to read W.B. Yeats. I got this Rosenthal's volume of selected poems by W.B. Yeats, and we read a few. This first one is from 1889, and it's called The Cloak, the Boat, and the Shoes. What do you make so fair and bright? I make the cloak of sorrow. Oh, lovely to see in all men's sight shall be the cloak of sorrow in all men's sight. What do you build with sails for flight? I build a boat for sorrow. Oh, swift on the seas all day and night saileth the rover Sorrow all day and night. What do you weave with wool so white? I weave the shoes of sorrow. Soundless shall be the footfall light in all men's ears of sorrow, sudden and light. That was, actually, that's from 1885. Excuse me. It was in a collection of his from 1889. All right, so this one is called Ephemera. Your eyes that once were never weary of mine are bowed in sorrow under pendulous lids, because our love is waning. And then she, although our love is waning, let us stand by the lone border of the lake once more, together in that hour of gentleness, when the poor, tired child, passion, falls asleep. How far away the stars seem, and how far is our first kiss, and ah, how old my heart. Pensive they paced along the faded leaves, while slowly he whose hand held hers replied, Passion has often worn our wandering hearts. The woods were round them, and the yellow leaves fell like faint meteors in the gloom. And once a rabbit old and lame limped down the path. Autumn was over him. Excuse me. And now they stood on the lone border of the lake once more. Turning, he saw that she had thrust dead leaves gathered in silence, dewy as her eyes, in bosom and hair. Ah, do not mourn, he said, that we are tired, for other loves await us. Hate on and love through unrepining hours. Before us lies eternity. Our souls are love and a continual farewell. This one is The Stolen Child. Where dips the rocky highland of Sleuth Wood in the lake, there lies a leafy island where flapping herons wake the drowsy water rats. There we've hid our fairy vats full of berries and of reddest stolen cherries. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Where the wave of moonlight glosses the dim gray sands with light, far off by furthest Rosses, we footed all the night, weaving olden dances, mingling hands and mingling glances, till the moon has taken flight. To and fro we leap and chase the frothy bubbles, while the world is full of troubles and is anxious in its sleep. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Where the wandering water gushes from the hills above Glencar, in pools among the rushes that scarce could bathe a star, we seek for slumbering trout, and whispering in their ears give them unquiet dreams, leaning softly out from ferns that drop their tears over the young streams. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Away with us he's going, the solemn-eyed. He'll hear no more the lowing of the calves on the warm hillside, or the kettle on the hob sing peace into his breast, or see the brown mice bob round and round the oatmeal chest. For he comes, the human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, from a world more full of weeping than he can understand. That was The Stolen Child. All right, this one is To an Isle in the Water. Shy one, shy one, shy one of my heart, she moves in the firelight pensively apart. She carries in the dishes and lays them in a row. To an isle in the water with her would I go. She carries in the candles and lights the curtained room, shy in the doorway and shy in the gloom, and shy as a rabbit, helpful and shy. To an isle in the water with her would I fly. Down by the Sally Gardens. Down by the Sally Gardens my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow-white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow on the tree, but I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree. In a field by the river my love and I did stand, and on my leaning shoulder she laid her snow-white hand. She bid me take life easy as the grass grows on the weirs, but I was young and foolish, and now am full of tears. The Rose. Excuse me. To the rose upon the rood of time. Red rose, proud rose, sad rose of all my days, come near me while I sing the ancient ways. Cuchulain battling with the bitter tide, the druid, grey, wood-nurtured, quiet-eyed, who cast round Fergus dreams and ruin untold, and thine own sadness, whereof stars grow old, in dancing silver sandaled on the sea, sing in their high and lonely melody. Come near, that no more blinded by man's fate, I find under the bowels of love and hate, in all poor foolish things that live a day, eternal beauty wandering on her way. Come near, come near, come near. Ah, leave me still a little space for the rose breath to fill, lest I no more hear common things that crave, the weak worm hiding down in its small cave, the field mouse running by me in the grass, and heavy mortal hopes that toil and pass, but seek alone to hear the strange things said by God to the bright hearts of those long dead, and learn to chaunt a tongue men do not know. Come near, I would, before my time to go. Sing of old ire and the ancient ways, red rose, proud rose, sad rose of all my days. The Rose of the World. Who dreamed that beauty passes like a dream? For these red lips, with all their mournful pride, mournful that no new wonder may betide, Troy passed away in one high funeral gleam, and Usna's children died. We in the laboring world are passing by amid men's souls that waver and give place, like the pale waters in their wintry race, under the passing stars, foam of the sky lives on this lonely face. Bow down, archangels, in your dim abode, before you were, or any hearts to beat. Weary and kind one lingered by his seat, he made the world to be a grassy road before her wandering feet. A Fairy Song. We who are old, old and gay, oh so old, thousands of years, if all were told, give to these children, new from the world, silence and love, and the long dew-dropping hours of the night and the stars above. Give to these children, new from the world, rest far from men. Is anything better? Anything better? Tell us it then. Us who are old, old and gay, oh so old, thousands of years, if all were told. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. I will rise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always, night and day, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's gray. I hear it in the deep heart's core. The pity of love. A pity beyond all telling is hid in the heart of love. The folk who are buying and selling, the clouds on their journey above, the cold wet winds ever blowing, in the shadowy hazel grove, where mouse gray waters are flowing, threaten the head that I love. The sorrow of love. The brawling of a sparrow in the eaves, the brilliant moon, and all the milky sky, and all that famous harmony of leaves had blotted out man's image and his cry. A girl arose that had red, mournful lips, and seemed the greatness of the world in tears. Doomed like, doomed like Odysseus and the laboring ships, and proud as Priam, murdered with his peers, arose, and on that instant clamorous eaves, a climbing moon upon an empty sky, and all that lamentation of the leaves could but compose man's image and his cry. When you are old. When you are old and gray and full of sleep and nodding by the fire, take down this book and slowly read, and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace, and loved your beauty with love false or true. But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face, and bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled, and paced upon the mountains overhead, and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. A dream of death. I dreamed that one had died in a strange place, near no accustomed hand, and they had nailed the boards above her face, the peasants of that land, wandering to lay her in that solitude, and raised above her mound a cross they had made out of 2 bits of wood, and planted cypress round, and left her to the indifferent stars above, until I carved these words: she was more beautiful than thy first love, but now lies under boards. That was a dream of death. Who goes with Fergus? Who will go drive with Fergus now, and pierce the deep wood's woven shade, and dance upon the level shore? Young man, lift up your russet brow, and lift your tender eyelids, maid, and brood on hopes and fear no more. And no more turn aside and brood upon love's bitter mystery. For Fergus rules the brazen cars, and rules the shadows of the wood, and the white beast of the dim sea, and all disheveled wandering stars. The man who dreamed of fairyland. He stood among a crowd at Dromahair. His heart hung all upon a silken dress, and he had known at last some tenderness before earth took him to her stony care. And when a man poured fish into a pile, it seemed they raised their little silver heads and sang what gold morning or evening sheds upon a woven, world-forgotten isle, where people love beside the ravelled seas, that time can never mar a lover's vows, under that woven, changeless roof of boughs. The singing shook him out his new ease. He wandered by the sands of Lizadel. His mind ran all on money cares and fears. His mind ran all on money cares and fears, and he had known at last some prudent years before they heaped his grave under the hill. But while he passed before a plashy place, a lugworm with its grey and muddy mouth sang that somewhere to north or west or south there dwelt a gay, exulting, gentle race under the golden or the silver skies, that if a dancer stayed his hungry foot, it seemed the sun and moon were in the fruit, and at that singing he was no more wise. He mused beside the well of Scanavin. He mused upon his mockers. Without fail, his sudden vengeance were a country tale, when earthly night had drunk his body in. But one small knot grass growing by the pool sang where unnecessary cruel voice, old silence bids its chosen race rejoice, whatever ravelled waters rise and fall, or stormy silver fret the gold of day. At midnight there enfold them like a fleece, and lover there by lover be at peace. The tale drove his fine angry mood away. He slept under the hill of excuse me. He slept under the hill of Lugnagal, and might have known at last unhaunted sleep under that cold and vapor-turbaned steep, now that the earth had taken man and all. Did not the worms that spired about his bones proclaim that with unwearied, reedy cry that God had laid his fingers on the sky, that from those fingers glittering summer runs upon the dancer by the dreamless wave? Why should those lovers that no lovers miss dream until God burn nature with a kiss? The man has found no comfort in the grave. The Two Trees. Beloved, gaze in thine own heart. The holy tree is growing there. From joy the holy branches start, and all the trembling flowers they bear. The changing colors of its fruit have dowered the stars with merry light. The surety of its hidden root has planted quiet in the night. The shaking of its leafy head has given the waves their melody, and made my lips and music wed, murmuring a wizard's song for thee. There the loves a circle go, the flaming circle of our days, gyring spring to and fro in those great, ignorant, leafy ways, remembering all that shaken hair and how the winged sandals dart. Thine eyes grow full of tender care, beloved. Gaze in thine own heart. Gaze no more in the bitter glass. The demons, with their subtle guile, lift up before us when they pass, or only gaze a little while. For there a fatal image grows that the stormy night receives, roots half hidden under snows, broken boughs and blackened leaves. For all things turn to barrenness in the dim glass the demons hold, the glass of outer weariness, made when gods slept in times of old. There through the broken branches go the ravens of unresting thought, flying, crying to and fro, cruel claw and hungry throat, or else they stand and sniff the wind, and shake their ragged wings. Alas, thy tender eyes grow all unkind, gaze no more in the bitter glass. All right, well, that was a good little section of W.B. Yeats poems. I hope you enjoyed that, whether you're live or catching the replay. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hope you have a great night, and I will talk to you next time.